Hello, welcome to the Battling Barrow. And who put a window there? Why would I? Yeah, sorry about the lighting. In today's video, we are going to make another modular house. Yeah, I love building houses, but we're going to make a bigger one, and this will lead into something else in the future. And it's also going to be a sort of show you a new way how I'm planning on doing my modular houses. If you remember, they look like this, and we lift them up and there's a sort of internal tile, and they just sit on top of like my street tiles or what have you. But we're going to sort of tweak them a little bit. So what we're going to do is just make a bigger one. So less of me waffling and more of me. What rhymes with waffling? That's terrain crafting. I don't know. If you know a word, less waffling and more crafting. That don't work. Something that rhymes. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, let's go. Okay, so the way we do things at the moment is we have a street sort of layout, and I'm just using these street tiles here. So you see these being made. These are just on 10mm foam. And if I have a house, I will plop it on top like so. And then when we go inside, we'll go inside like so. This is great, it's fine, but for a big house I don't want it to sit on top. What if the house itself were, let's imagine these are 4x4. Now what happens if I was to have double size? This is 4 inches wide, the old house, so it's 2 foot. And then what happens if I was to have this whole house as my base? So this would be the entire base, so it's sort of set. We're doing it in a smaller scale. The entire thing would, so I'd set it up like this and plop the house down like so. And then when you lift it up, it's not sitting on top of anything. So that is my thinking behind this. So it will have, rather than having these individual 5mm floorboards, it's going to be on a 6mm floor. But we're going to do something different with the walls as well. We're not going to have, I'll show you later on, but that is my thinking. So it's going to sit straight onto the street tiles and not on top of it. So for this, I'm just going to have some chipboard that I'm going to measure out. This is just 1mm chipboard. I'm going to measure it out so it's 12 by 8. Now the interesting thing about this is, I'm a bit small enough, it's going to have some 10mm foam. It's going to sit on top of it, and this will have the floorboard texture or whatever floor it's going to be. But I'm not going to go right to the edge. I'm going to leave a sort of 5mm gap around each corner here, because the walls are going to sit along the outside like so. So when you lift it up, there'll be an edge round, which is great because that will show the players where that's a wall there. And I'm also marking where the windows would have been on the model and where the door is. So like my players, sometimes when I come in like here, like this, and I take this away, here's the door here, and here are 2 windows, and there's a window here. When we go inside, like, wow, where's the windows gone? Sometimes I want to shoot out the windows or do stuff out the windows. So this way, it will allow me to sort of show where the walls are, and I can paint them up slightly different, but we can get onto that later on. And then what would happen is our street tiles would be here. This would be our floor tile all level, and the wall, the building, when it goes over, is going to sort of slot over the top. So like so, it's going to boom. So the bottom part of the building effectively will be, the walls will be nothing, will be dead. I don't use the word dead, but yeah, so that is my thinking. So what I'm going to do is cut this out, glue it onto here using the thickness of the foam, and this is American dollar store foam or Canadian dollar store foam that the Dungeon Minister kindly sent. I'm going to use that to work out how much I need to leave off, and then we can glue this in, pattern this up, I think it's going to be a floorboard, I think, for now. I might do a couple of different rooms, just to make this some sort of, have a 4x4 room here. I don't know yet, so, or I might do the magnets, put the magnets in, just do a whole floorboard, and add magnet walls in. Ooh, good idea. So yeah, I'm going to get that done, and then we'll come back once that's all done. The first thing I'm doing is taking some dollar store foam board that was sent to me by the Dungeon Minister, and I'm going to strip it down into the required height. For this, I'm doing them as 1 3/4 inches, so it sort of matches my modular houses. And here we go for me mixing the measurement systems up. It's 1 3/4 inches plus 10mm. The 10mm is to allow for the 10mm floor, because it's going to sit around the floor. And so I'm just going to mark out some, cut out the width of it here. I need 2 12-inch bits and then 2 that are going to be the width, which will total 8 inches. The house is going to be 12 by 8. This will fit in line with the street sections, of course, and matching the floor that I've already got out. Now what I'm doing next is just working out something a bit different. I want the bottom part of this wall, this will be a wattle and daub wall, but I want the bottom bit to be stone. So I'm roughly working out here is I need 10mm that won't ever be seen due to it being sitting in down the gap of the street tiles, and another sort of 10mm-ish for the actual brickwork. So I'm just working that out here. And what I'm going to do now is just score down the paper, and it is the paper that I'm scoring down, not cutting into the foam. Next, ably assisted by Elvis here, I am trying to peel off that section of the paper, and I find it easier to wet it first. My camera is more interested in focusing on my cat than me, but yeah, wet it first on that area, and it peels off really easy, just with a bit of wet. And any bits that do get left behind, you can use a wet finger and just rub them off like so. And so now I'm left with a wall that is in 2 halves. Next I want to texture it, so here I'm just using a roller. I'm just rolling it over the exposed foam part. Again, really difficult to do with a big fat ginger fur beast in the way. So let's go over that again without the cat. So here we go, you can see where I've cut it. It's the other wall. I've got 2 walls. So I just come in and soak it with some water from my paint pot. It doesn't take long to soak in, and you can instantly peel it off, and it should come off really easy. Next, now what I find is rubbing it so it peels it back like this. Just look at this, just comes off super duper easy, exposing that foam. Here we can come in with the roller, and what I'm doing is just putting it right on the edge so I don't roll into the actual paper covered part. It does leave a bit of a groove in it due to the nature of this roller from Green Stuff World, but I can live with that. And so here is the floor glued in place with the gap for the foam edge, and you can see here this is going to sit in like so, and you can see the 10mm that I've allowed for plus the 10mm exposed wall. You're going to see plenty of that in the streets, as it were, once the street tiles are put up either side. I was going to repeat the same for the end pieces, which will, as I said, total 8 inches. With all the wall sections cut out, I can work out things like doors and windows. So here I am just working out where I want the door. So I'm just doing it rough by holding up the wall in place and just working out where I want the wall. And it's a similar process for the windows. What I can do then is take it away and sort of tidy up these lines and tidying up the measurements. But that's roughly it. This is going to have double doors going into it. I don't think I've done a double door yet into buildings, so double doors, and now it's going to work out where I want the windows. And I can cut those windows out and I can begin to glue it together. So what I do first is use the actual floor piece as to show to get my right angles, as it were, and just glue one bit into another. I'm using hot glue. You can of course use PVA glue, white glue if you like, but hot glue, quick and fast. So yeah, I'm just going to go around and glue these all in now. Windows, this is another different technique, so I thought I'd cover this because the rest of this video gets pretty samey. Windows, I thought I'd try something different. This will be available for patrons to download. It's a printable, something you can print out on a printer. It's printed on overhead projection. I've tried to make them the same size as my windows, but of course my cutting isn't that accurate. So, but you can make adjustments with a marker pen if you need to thicken up other bits. But yeah, you effectively print these out, cut them out, and glue them in place, and you've got windows which look like they've got a glass paning. So you don't have to do anything with resin. You don't have to do anything else with making windows. These are done for you. Just print them out. Great. Hey, as I said, available on Patreon. I make these available, and as I go with different projects, I'm going to be making different sort of window panes. I'm already thinking about making some for ships and things, so I can go back and add some to my old ship models for the cabin and stuff like that. So yeah, and all it is a case of cutting them out and gluing them in, which I'm doing here, and you got windows. Normally I make sort of diamond windows using body mesh, but I fancied some sort of straighter ones. I'm just cutting them out, and I said you can cut them to size as well. It's the lovely thing about these. Cut them to size, and Bob's your uncle. Easy peasy windows. Now the rest of the process is all the same. I'm going to build it, add some cladding, add some timbers using coffee stirrers, build a roof. You've seen this on my modular house build, so if you want to know how to do it, watch that. It's going to be painted up exactly the same as those. You can watch the recent gatehouse video and walls, coaching in gatehouse video and walls, to show how my new sort of painting method and roofing method. But one thing I do want to cover is adding moss to a roof, because roofs, when you look at them, if you ever look at roofs, especially older Tudor buildings, always have moss on. So for this, I just get some white glue and some different coloured brown, greens and yellow flocks, and just mix them up into a paste. I use a stick to do it here to mix it up. I should have used a longer one, but I actually do find it's easier just getting there with your finger. And it's the same for applying. Just get your finger, get a big splodge of this moss mixture on, and then you rub your finger over the roof, getting it into all those sort of nooks and crannies. And when this dries, it looks like moss. And yeah, whilst this was a nice, interesting build, because of the techniques we've already applied in the modular houses and the gatehouse, recent gatehouse, I didn't need to cover that much. I just wanted to cover the new aspects of how I'm going to, from now on, make the floors. I don't know if I'm going to retrofit my old ones, probably not. But yeah, make the floors for new builds, because I think it's just be a nifty idea, and just cover the new way I'm doing windows, and obviously let you know that they're available for patrons. Yeah, I guess now, without further ado, we can have the sort of grand reveal. But before then, thank you for watching. Thank you for all your support you give the channel by liking, subscribing, commenting, and all that good stuff. And if you haven't done all that yet, please do. Please like this, share it to your friends and all that standard YouTube stuff that you need to do, because the YouTube algorithm does hate us, creators, especially crafty creators. But yeah, let's have a look at the grand reveal.